Sip happens.
Episode 17.
Labor Day weekend edition.
Very impressed that it's happening. Not on my part. I'm just sitting in my house, so we don't do anything on Labor Day because, not intentionally, but we live on the lake. And you went to a lake, so I'm impressed that you are doing this because you are not at home. You are on vacation.
I am in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin.
Representing with the hat.
And I know my Wisco hat. And as I got here yesterday, I took a run around the lake. It's like my quick kind of shake off thing I always like to do. And as I'm running, as one does, one thinks about like Instagram and reels and posts, and it's just a sick thing I have. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make a reel at the end of my weekend because this is my cousin's. And you don't know what that means because you're not addicted to the summer I turned pretty like I am right now, like everyone else in America. But Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin is my cousin's beach. And for any people who are watching that show, that is my mindset right now. I stayed up until like 2 a.m. last night in this king size bed that I'm sharing with Max, watching on my iPhone.
Is Max into it or is he sleeping?
No, he's sleeping. I mean, it's a total high school drama show, and I love it.
Everyone
was
loves
skeptical
it
at first, but
it's great.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah.
So I'm in that mindset.
Okay.
But how
Representing
you doing?
Wisconsin. I'm in my nursing chair because anyone who is just listening to us and not watching visually, I have the same backdrop, but just new chair because we rearranged furniture. Because I guess I'll just start with my what's the big deal moment of the week. I was in tears, like full on broken down sobbing yesterday evening because we have been looking for months for a new bed for the kids. The kids share a room and Harry is still in his crib. We're not kicking him out anytime soon. He'll probably get evicted when the new baby comes because, like, why would I have two cribs? But anyway, we've been looking for a new bed for Emerson and wanted something that eventually Harry and little one can move into as well. So we found this really cool bunk bed with trundle, triple tiered amazingness with stairs, a little safer in my mind than ladder. Loved it. Super excited. Happened to find it on Facebook Marketplace after looking for months for the best thing. And you know me, I love a bargain. So got it on Facebook Marketplace. This woman was phenomenal. Thank you, Rosie, in East Hanover, New Jersey. Really, really worked with us on this. Went to pick it up yesterday. We had to take, a bunk bed, trundle, stairs. We had to take both of our SUVs, fill them up. We couldn't fit everything. Had to bring everything back to the house. And my husband then went and got his uncle's truck to get the last load. So I'm at home with the kids, setting up what we already have. It's great. My husband calls. He's like, I did it. I got all of it in the truck. I'm on my way back. Amazing. Can't wait. He calls me back. He's like 5 minutes from home and says, it didn't make it. I said, excuse me? He said, something fell out. It completely shattered. It's not salvageable. It's done. And I was like, that's not true. Like, whatever. I, in my mind, was playing through everything like he's joking. It's fine. I was like, just come home. No big deal. We'll figure it out. He gets home. It's destroyed. It's literally destroyed. So we had packed up the trundle and the stairs. He had the actual bed, the entire bunk. Pothole something. I mean, you know my husband. He is a sailor. He takes his knots very seriously. Everything was tied down. It was just like a fluke mistake. I'm not even mad at him. It's just like this gut punch of defeat after months of looking, and you find it on Facebook Marketplace, and there's nothing to show for it. So what happened?
Like a piece of it fell off on the road on the way there?
The frame of the bunk fell off on the highway.
My God.
Just demolished, shattered, like bolts flying everywhere, wood chips everywhere. He packed up as much as he could so I could see the damage, but there's literally nothing. And it was heartbreaking because my kids, they came with us to pick up the first batch. And they were home while Dad went out to get the last batch of stuff, chanting, new bed, new bed, new. So I'm like, I don't have the heart to tell them. It's the pregnancy hormones. I burst into tears. I'm like, I'm not even mad. I'm just defeated. Like, what do we even do? It's just, we just threw several $100s out the window and there's nothing we can do about it. And I'm like, and then I had to kind of step back and be like, what's the big deal? It's a bed. It's a bed. They have a place to sleep. They have there's mattresses all over the floor. The stairs are still here and the kids are loving it. They're just climbing up the stairs and dive bombing onto the mattresses. Like, what's the big deal? But it was a big deal last night.
Yeah, because, I mean,
I was heartbroken.
And it's
heartbroken.
And it's also annoying after all of the research and Facebook Marketplace communication and searching and finding the real one. And
And then, like,
at
taking out
least,
car seats to make room for it, and then packing the kids up and coordinating with my husband and the woman and the what's
I
the
mean, the
big
good
deal?
thing
It's
is,
fine.
I'm sure, I mean, that's the problem with like, what's the big deal? Because you know what? Sometimes like little things like that, like are big deals. So it's like, it's easy to shake it off and be like, oh, well, what's the big deal? Well, you know what the big deal is? The big deal is I have a lot going on in life. I tried really hard to get this bed
Yeah.
situation, communication, kids are excited, and it just completely fell
My
apart.
my
And like,
response and my
well,
sadness was merited. Like, I didn't feel bad about being upset. I felt bad because my husband came home and I was sobbing, and he didn't know what to do, and he handed me a Capri Sun because you can't give your pregnant wife a martini.
Capri Sun.
That is my Pacific Cooler
Wow.
specifically is my craving, and it was with Emerson as well, but not Harrison's pregnancy, which is so strange.
I haven't heard that in ages. Like
Let me
Sunny
tell
D,
you,
Capri Sun.
Pacific
Okay.
Cooler Capri Sun hit the spot last night as I was sobbing on the couch trying to console my husband,
Okay.
who obviously felt so
Okay.
guilty. I mean, it wasn't his fault. It is what like it just happened. But yes, you're right. It felt like such a big deal in the moment, but then I had to step back and be like, you know what? It's also okay. It's okay to be sad and it's okay to be defeated by the situation, but it's also okay to see that my kids are loving this and still chanting new bed as they jump off the stairs to not a bunk bed, just to mattresses and a trundle. And like they're having the time of their life. So
Yeah.
we're
Well, I'll
good.
tell you one situation where what's the big deal probably doesn't work is I lost Max at Navy Pier in Chicago during the fireworks. And I tried to what's the big deal that, but that was actually a little bit more of a big
That's
deal.
a big
So,
deal.
like, what do you, I mean, I can happy to tell the story, but like in this situation, like he doesn't know my phone number. So he now knows my phone number. It gave me a huge sense of urgency to remember my phone number.
Yeah.
But also in a place like that, it's not like you can walk into like a massive, like a Navy Pier area and like a huge downtown area and be like, okay, well, if we get separated, come back to this spot. 'Cause it's so huge, it's so foreign, it's so unknown.
Yeah.
So it's not like we walked into this thing with like a get lost plan, and we usually kind of do.
Has he been to Navy Pier before? Is he familiar with the area?
No, no,
Okay,
nope,
so there's a
never
lot
been.
everything's working against you here.
Yes. But like, what the one thing we do tell him is if you do get lost, look for another mom, look for another dad with kids, and just tell them that you're lost and tell them my name and my phone number. Well, he doesn't know my phone number, so
Yeah.
he knows it now, which is good.
Yeah.
But I also wonder, like, in the moment, if you would be able to remember the phone number when you are scared
Stressed.
and
Yeah.
frantic and stressed. And so that was fun, but found him. And he was
What do
with a
you
woman
do in that situation? Was it just you or
went
are you with
back.
their whole family?
No, I was with my mom and my brother Chris. Fireworks display, Katy Perry fireworks music is blasting. You can't hear. So when you yell for, you just can't hear. It's a big crowd. I went back to this high riser of stairs that we were on at one point and used that as a vantage point to like look down into this crowd. And luckily he was wearing like a neon blue shirt and I serendipitously like perfectly spotted him with another woman and her
My
kids, like
goodness.
our older 8, 9-year-old
Yeah.
kids. And I ran down the stairs and the woman, the mom, the first thing out of my mouth, which is, I was mad because I don't need to get into it, but like he was having frenetic, crazy energy all day. This was not the first time that he kind of like actively tried to run away from me at Navy Pier
Ugh.
that night,
Ugh.
which is it's just very weird behavior for him. He usually does not do that. He just
Yeah.
was weird
Travel
energy.
day,
And
being
so
with family.
I was
Yeah.
so mad.
Yeah.
And so of course, like the first thing as like a mom, I should have been like, oh my God, I'm so, I was like, I am so mad at
Yeah.
you. I was
What were you thinking?
like worried and mad. And
Of
like the
course.
woman looked at me like, is this woman like trying to lose her kid? She's
Yeah. How
mad. Is
dare
she
you,
gonna
you
like,
terrible mother who
yeah,
lost your child?
yeah. And then my mom came over and she's like, yeah, did you see the way that lady was looking at you? I'm like, honestly,
Who
I don't
cares?
care. I
I got
thanked
my son
her.
back. Who cares? Yeah.
But that was 30 minutes,
That's a
Chicago, Navy Pier. It's a long time.
long
It's a long time.
time. That's very
Yeah. And
scary.
like, she's like, we got to go to security. I'm like, I don't even security.
And in a
I honestly
scenario where
don't
you
know.
can't like yell, because the thing I always see is you're supposed to yell, a 6-year-old boy
Missing
in a
kid.
blue shirt. And like, but if no one can hear you because there's fireworks and music blasting, that's not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah, but like also, is that what you're supposed to do? Because I feel like
You're
that's
supposed to yell
also
what
this
they're
huge
wearing.
panic thing.
You're supposed to yell
Okay.
what they're wearing because that, as opposed to being like, I can't find my son. You're supposed to say, I'm missing a 6-year-old boy in a bright blue shirt so that everyone can look around because they don't know what Max looks like. Apparently that works better.
And then my mom got mad. She's like, why doesn't he have an air tag on him? I'm like, an air tag on your kid. Like, what am I going to do? Put on a shoe? I'm like, it's not a bad
Literally,
idea, but like,
that's where
really?
they make shoe soles that you can put them in. Everyone's got their
I have
kids
one on
tagged.
his backpack. We have it in his school backpack, but anyway, so that's it. And I tried to, what's the big deal? I
No,
found
that
him,
is
and
a
I was
big deal.
like, you
That's
know what?
terrifying.
It is, yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, I definitely did, and I didn't tell Craig until like the next day. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'll tell him tomorrow because
We're
he's already
good.
thinks I like, I'm too laissez-faire. But in this situation, he ran away from me. But yeah.
Wow.
So are you gonna have Emmy memorize your phone number?
We've worked on it.
Okay.
And she's tried. I don't think we're there yet. Excuse me. We've tried to build it into Let It Go to
Oh.
the song, because the song, you can be like, da-na-na, da-na-na, dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So we're trying to make it relatable for her. Like, hey, you love this song. What if this song was numbers? And I think we're getting there, because we're now getting to the point where she actually can like learn her alphabet and recognize numbers. So I think we're almost there. But she does know the street we live on, which helps. And she is now learning our names. The other day, Spencer called me, and I didn't hear for some reason. Emmy goes, Stefany, Spencer wants you. And I was like, who? Who was that? What? It's so off-putting. You're like, was that my 4-year-old? What's going on
What?
right now?
What?
It's
What?
so
What?
bizarre. Yeah. Anyway, what's the big deal? Those are ours for the day. I get it. But I agree with you. Like, those kind of are big deals. Like, it's okay for that
Yeah,
to
I
be a big
know.
deal.
I
It's
know.
very much okay
I
for that to be
know.
a big deal.
So what did you see on social this week?
Oh my gosh, you
What's
ready
getting
for
served to
this?
you? I'm
Okay,
ready.
here's some of my stuff that I saw on social this week. First of all, there's a meteorologist named Clement Reg, who is the reason that hurricanes are named after people. Because back in his day, he used to name hurricanes after politicians that he didn't like, so that he could get away with saying things like,
Nasty
Steve is causing
so-and-so.
distress, or Heather is wandering aimlessly, and like poke fun at them without actually saying who they were, which I thought was hilarious, because I've always wondered that, actually. Why do we call them human names? I know we go alphabetically, but that's why, because of
I had no
Clement.
idea.
Thanks,
Okay.
Clement, for giving us that opportunity. So I appreciate that. Also, I'm going to start using that. People who I want to just throw under the bus, I'll start naming, an annoying behavior of my kids, or
It's
like,
like, did you ever see that movie? What's the movie with Jennifer Aniston, Adam Sandler, and Dave Matthews has a random appearance.
what?
Nicole Kidman, yes, and Nicole Kidman is married to Dave Matthews in the show, the character, and Jennifer Aniston's character tells her kids whenever they take a big poop to call it a Declan, like, oh, go take a Declan, because
I
she like
love
hates
that.
this girl so
Exactly.
much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, people on the show absolutely know.
That sounds like
Whatever.
the
It's like
strangest cast ever. I love it.
it's totally bizarre and wonderful, and it's
Yeah,
like
but
taking
I
a
love that. I
Declan.
love
It's
that concept, like naming things you don't like after someone you need to kind of
like taking like a
take
big
some shit
nasty
out on.
Trump. Ugh,
Yeah.
she took a Trump. Like, oh, what a stinky piece of shit. Oh man.
That actually reminds me of something else this isn't something I saw on social. So I'll keep going on something that I saw on social. And I thought of you when I saw this. The first ever NYC Bakery Run is happening in September 21st. It is a half marathon, and you run by 8 different bakeries and just carb load as you're running.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't that sound kind of fun?
I think I'd be more enjoyable if it was like a brewery run and you just take a little sip of a beer to
I
kind of
would
give you
love
fuel that way through carbs.
a croissant while I'm running. Actually, that sounds horrible. I feel like that would not end well. I don't know if I actually should look into this. I don't know if you like stop and eat while you're running, or if you just collect a bunch of delicious pastries afterwards. But it's a lottery system. So if you do want to enter, I believe they picked the lottery entries September 10th, I want to say, 10th or 12th. And the race is September 21st. So if you're in the Manhattan area and you like baked goods and running, I say go for it.
Do it. Do it.
Go for it.
What I've been seeing, I'm filled with all Labor Day sales right now. And
Okay.
so I'm up at the lake. I just took Max to a park this morning. As I'm like, being like a deadbeat mom and like half watching him. I'm on my phone,
Of
of
course.
course.
Yeah. And losing him every 3 minutes. Yeah.
The PSA is the Perfect White Tea is a brand. You may know of it.
Huh?
You probably see it.
Yeah.
It's, expensive, nice, basic, but they're just like really high quality, like literally perfect white t-shirts, teddy bear sweatshirts, stuff like that. And so they're having an amazing Labor Day sale. And so my PSA is anyone, well, you're probably not going to get this, but perfect white tee, things that are on sale, do that. And the second thing is US Open is
Yes.
going on. So my feeds are flooded with US Open stuff because
Yeah.
tennis obviously has never been more trendy and popular. But I'm late to Fritz. What's his first name? I can't think of his first name right now, but he's extremely attractive. I think he's like a Hugo Boss model. And of course, he has like a super famous, hot Instagram model girlfriend. Because, like, of course he
Sure.
does.
Naturally.
And it was really cute. So I was on, scrolling, and Max, like, he sees me on my phone. He's like, "Who is that?" Because he sees this, like, this
That's your real
typical
dad.
Instagram model girl. Well, no, he sees
Got
he's the
it. Okay.
girlfriend, and he goes, "Who's that?" And I go, "Oh, she's like, an Instagram model." And he goes, like, "What's a model?" I'm like, "Oh, it's someone who gets paid to look pretty." And I thought that was like, right, like, that's
Sure.
not wrong. I'm like, "Yeah, someone who gets paid to look good." And, I was joking with him, like, "Do you think I could be a model?" He's like, "You could." He's like, "But I really want you to make sure that you care about more things than just being pretty." I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "What?" He's like soccer and wine. I'm like, "That makes
Done.
sense. Makes
Done. I
sense.
care about
Done.
all of those things. Thank you, son. I
All of
love
those
that.
things."
Well, speaking of models, I just saw that our previous guest, Miss Steph Korgel, just posted some new photos modeling some new gear, and she looked fabulous. So, speaking of
Well,
being paid
that's
paid to look
interesting you
pretty.
say that. We're gonna meet up because she's also at the lake this weekend.
No
But it would've been kind of fun.
way.
Yeah, it would've been kind of fun to do, like, a little guest appearance or a live broadcast from
Yeah.
her lake
Well,
house.
you should post a story like life since appearing on the podcast. I'm sure her life has like
Oh,
changed dramatically since we
well, it has. I
finally
mean,
made her famous.
she has a couple more endorsement deals
Absolutely.
from the exposure, from Stuff
Mhm.
Happens. Like,
Mhm.
she's been trying to think about what it's like to get either a new agent, someone to kind of represent her in a little bit more positive way. So
I get that.
her life has truly been impacted by
I'm glad we
this
were able
show,
to
talking to
turn
us.
things around for her. It
Yeah,
was a real
yeah. Her life
spiral
was
for
really
a
going
minute. It was
down.
a real
Yeah,
spiral.
yeah, it was kind of
Well,
scary.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
so fun that you'll be able to
yeah,
see her. That's really cool.
yeah.
I forgot another thing that I saw on socials this week was something that I thought was so interesting because my husband always talks very openly about how he was a June baby and he was held back a year, and it was a big thing. I don't know if you ever experienced this, but as a summer kid, my sisters and I are all July, August babies, and we were always the youngest in our class. And there was always so much conversation about being held back or whether that made sense. And I think my parents looked at that as a flaw. Like that would be a negative if you were held back. So I always find it very refreshing that my husband talks about how he was held back and his parents are like, no, this makes more sense. But I saw something on social about how specifically boys who are born in the summer, if they are not held back, if they are just put in with their regular class, they are 2 times more likely to develop ADHD. And it's not because of biology, it's because they're usually the youngest in the class and they're
Hmm.
developmentally so far behind and have a harder time focusing than their peers that holding them back for that year just significantly changes the odds of them actually developing ADHD or other disorders and hyperactivity and things like that. And I was like, wow, I love it. That's like very specific data on boys in particular, summer birthdays. And now I'm like, all right, we've got a May birthday for Harry. I don't know how that fits in. It's like summer cusp, but we'll see.
And you got a Christmas one coming up.
Christmas baby. Yeah, at least that one's like solid within the cutoffs. I
So
don't
what else
even
are you
know
doing this
what
weekend?
our school cutoff
What?
age is now. Like, is it September
Oh,
1st or
I have
something?
no idea. I'm like the worst parent. I have no idea.
I don't even know.
Uh,
I was back home in Atlanta where I grew up and went to school and saw a friend who at the time I didn't really realize this, but we ended up comparing birthdays, and my birthday is August 16th and hers is September 5th, but she's a year ahead of me. And she was like, why were you in our class? And I was like, I have no idea. Like that, what was the cutoff that August 16th, 1984 and September 5th, 1983 were in the same class? Like how did that? And that's where
weird.
I'm like, I think my parents were very, very much like, no, put them in the class ahead. Don't let them be held back. Aggressively pushed us into probably the
I
class we weren't
know.
supposed to be in, but worked out. Great. It's great. Look at me
And here
now.
we are.
I made it through
He's
Georgetown and
thriving.
almost got kicked out, but didn't. I did not.
Fred.
Yeah,
And then you wouldn't be here.
would have been fun. You know what? Speaking of, I don't think I've ever told
What?
that story. So I literally almost
The
got
fun
kicked
story
out.
about getting kicked out of college?
But I didn't. I almost did, because when I got to Georgetown, I was so excited. I loved it. And it was, we have talked about the fact that I grew up in a little bit of a bubble, and I didn't drink till I got to college. I, didn't understand what sex was, because that wasn't something we talked about. I grew up where sex was for marriage, and that's it. So I got to college, and the world was my oyster, and everything I hadn't ever experienced at home, I wanted to do and try and learn about and everything, including becoming a super fan of the Hoyas Georgetown basketball team. So much so that, like, we were on buses every weekend traveling to the games. Like, I was committed. I was, on a bus going from DC to Notre Dame, all these things.
I don't think I've ever heard this story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was fully invested. And it was so much fun. We were amazing when I was there. We went to, like, the Final Four one year. I mean, it was really, really fun. But that meant I was not fully committed to school and my academics and all that. When I started at Georgetown, I was pre-med. And about a year and a half into it, which is when a lot of people end up quitting because of organic chemistry. I actually love organic chemistry. I love science. But a year and a half into it, I realized I was more interested in people's minds than their bodies. And so I kind of, like, completely checked out. Also basketball. So my sophomore year, they were like, they sent me a letter, and they were like, you're on academic probation until you can figure out what's going on, because my grades are so horrible. And I had to write this whole letter and go to them for a meeting and, like, declare a new major and really show them I was committed to my academic career at Georgetown. And for some reason, I picked math as my new major. So for 2 weeks,
Ew.
I was a math major. I love math. I really do love math. But then 2 weeks into it, I was like, what the fuck am I going to do with a math major? Like, where is that? Where's that taking me in life? Nothing. So the pendulum swung the polar opposite direction to psychology, which was the major of, you could do literally anything, and you are not going to be stuck in any specific category with this major.
Yeah.
Like, I went from fully decisive to, like, the most indecisive major possible. And graduated. And I remember when I graduated, my uncle sent me a card that was like, congratulations, we weren't sure if you were going to make it. And I was like, that's rude. And then now, as an adult, I'm like, oh, that's hilarious, actually. Thank you. I deserved that. But I made it, and I graduated. And I was one of those people who first of all, I don't even know what my GPA was, but I know it was something that I didn't want to put on my resumes, because back in the day, I don't know if that's still a thing now, you were supposed to put your GPA.
So weird. I actually just filled out a job application for something, and it asked for my GPA. It was like, really? I'm 41.
From 20 years ago?
Really?
Yeah.
Does that really matter?
It was
what my
so
GPA from
I
Northwestern
never
was?
put it
Like,
on.
what?
I was and
it was like an asterisk. It was like a required field. I was like, it was for Meta, so it was for Meta. It was a role at Meta. I'm like, Meta.
Fair.
I'm like, so maybe, I don't know. Like,
Fair.
Okay, but
they're like, you can tell us or not. We'll find it either way. Like, we have that data, so if you tell us, we'll figure it out. But yeah, so I never put my GPA on my resume, because I knew that was not going to open any doors for me. And just the Georgetown name itself actually opened plenty of doors, so that worked out well. But oof.
That's the one thing I do kind of, like, regret, is that I have not tapped into or taken advantage of my, like, college Northwestern alumni network, and, like, the way that I think I really could have or should have. And I'm networking in other ways, but that's just the one thing. And the one I think I wish I would have maintained a little bit more closer specifically are the collegiate athlete alumni relations, because those are, like, my people.
Yeah.
And, like, there's actually been, like, some amazing, like, Jason Wright is, like, a huge former Northwestern football player. He's now, like, I think he's the president of the Washington Commanders, and he's like, so there's just, like, some really good people in good places. And, like,
well, Eric Trump was in my class at Georgetown. So I missed out on some networking opportunities as well.
Darn, we can always re-engage with him.
Yeah.
I think he's a light bulb.
I don't know where it could go, but yeah, we'll see. Actually, I didn't have any social interactions with him, which is surprising, because it was a pretty small class.
Have you gone back to Georgia? Have you done anything like homecoming?
We've driven. I haven't done any official activities. Our 20-year reunion is next year. And I'm curious what that looks like, because again,
20-year. What year did you graduate?
2006.
Did we graduate the same year? Oh, so 20 is this year or next year?
Next year, 26.
Oh, Okay. Okay.
But
I'm
I
going
am
back to
very
the first time.
curious
Yeah.
because I'm like, what does that look like?
You should
Will
go.
will the sitting president's son be there? Will it be like a bunch of Secret
No,
Service?
maybe.
Where I don't even know. I loved going to
You
school
should
in
go
Georgetown.
back for your 20th. I feel like that'd be kind of cool. I don't know.
It would be fun. It would be fun.
Yeah.
Well, I have no idea what that looks like. I mean, I've been back to Georgetown many times. My family lives in Maryland. I have extended family in Maryland, so anytime we visit, it's fun to do like a quick road trip there. And we've done like the cherry
Yeah.
blossoms and just
Yeah.
going to tour campus and walk around and show the kids that's where mommy went to school and that's where mommy was waitressing when she almost failed out of school and all this fun stuff.
Hmm. Well, it's officially my favorite time of year. Today is the kickoff of college football. I went to get my coffee and went to this big Elk Room bar in Wisconsin, and you got guys sipping their massive Bloody Marys, drinking their Nuclearis beers at 9 in the
Sounds
morning,
amazing.
and you got college game day football.
I love all of that except college
It's
football.
just
I've never gotten it. Maybe because of
really
Georgetown. Georgetown's football field
well,
was smaller
yeah.
than my high school football field. Like it wasn't. We weren't known for our football, so I
But we
never got
watched
into it.
football a lot. We watched NFL together. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, I
in
love
our
NFL.
New York
Yeah,
days. Yeah.
absolutely. I love
But
NFL.
I mean, college football is my favorite sport.
Is it really?
I've fallen in and out of touch with it depending on like the seasons, but there's nothing I like better than college game day Saturday, specifically watching ESPN college game day.
Oh,
Um, I know, I love it. I used to like
and
wake
no
up. I used
particular
to go for run.
team. Just watching.
Well, anything Big Ten, Big
Okay.
Ten, like
Okay.
just specifically Big Ten football. Of course, I like Northwestern because I went there, but I'm now kind of like an adopted like Michigan fan. I
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
love it. I go to Ann
Yeah.
Arbor every year now. Our friends are there. I kind of wish I went to Michigan, but I still love Northwestern. I also love Wisconsin and Madison. So like that trifecta of teams I
Okay.
follow. Northwestern because it's default because I went there.
Yeah.
Go Blue, Michigan because I just love Michigan football. And um, the Badgers,
I got nothing.
Wisconsin.
And your
Yeah,
brother and
it's
my
just,
brother both played football in college. That was the extent of my
yeah,
college football interest is watching my brother play. But my brother was a kicker, so was yours. I now have
yeah.
a
Your
soft
brother,
spot for the kickers anytime I watch
yeah,
those.
punter. Chris punted.
He was a punter. Oh, I don't think I realized
Punter.
that. Okay.
Yeah, punter. He was good.
My brother was a kicker.
So yeah, so speaking of Chris, so this is actually interesting and throwbacks is he is currently flying out to Seattle to go to the Gorge to see Dave Matthews Band.
Cool.
So who would have thought another 2-part Dave Matthews Band name drop on this pod
Yeah,
today?
well,
But
as anticipated, we planned that.
but it's crazy. Like I've been to more Dave concerts than any other show in my life. I think just because like
Dave
that's
was
what
my
we did in
first
high
concert.
school.
He was my
Yep,
first
like
concert.
it was just like the 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, it
That's
was
what
the
you do on a
time.
weekend.
It was the time.
But the Gorge is like this incredible venue out there on the Columbia
I've
River.
seen pictures and everything, all the content that comes out of it, but I've never been. It looks amazing. Is it his first time going to the Gorge?
Yeah, and it's for friends like birthday and stuff. So he's out there with us, like best high school friends. But
That's
it's
fun.
just it's probably like the way if you're gonna see like a Dave concert, like you do that. You go to like a very like outdoorsy, epic jam bandy venue, and they're doing an Airbnb, but people like camp, and it's just like
I love that Dave
you
is still
take
touring.
yeah, he's like never been yeah, iconic still. I mean, he's
Cool.
like Fish. They just tour and
Just until someone dies, like they just keep going until the
I
band falls
guess.
apart.
I mean, if it was more convenient, I would for sure go see Dave. I don't have too many like concert buddies anymore. Like you're one of my go-to concert
yeah,
girls.
it's the best.
But I'm gonna go see. I think I talked about this earlier. I'm gonna go see My Morning Jacket
Mhm.
and Stevie Nicks with Jane and some other friends.
And I told you need to get
but-
chickens so you can name one of them Stevie Chicks because I saw that on
I like that.
TikTok and I was like, oh, that is reason enough to get chickens. I don't know that chickens would
My
do well
next-
in you have plenty of
No,
property for them, but
Craig really wants to get because I eat like tons of eggs because of the whole protein thing, which is
tons
so
of
annoying, and I
chickens.
hate to be cliche. Tons of chickens. But when we get another dog, which will happen at some point, whether it's after Lemon or with Lemon, I think she'll be a Stevie Nicks. I have this thing. It kind of feels weird saying like your baby name out loud to the world, but maybe I'm just gonna manifest it.
That Stevie's coming.
Stevie's coming.
Great. I love it.
So what else are you doing this weekend? Any hot
my husband
plans?
had to go to work for a barbecue event that was happening at work, and I just scolded him and said if he comes home without food, for his pregnant wife. He will be in trouble
Mhm,
because
mhm.
I didn't need barbecue until I was sitting down with the kids having lunch with them and looked out my window and saw our neighbor was grilling hamburgers and hot dogs. And our neighbor's lovely. He's the kind of guy that if I walked out, he'd be like, "Come get a hot dog." But I was like, "No, I want my husband to bring me some of the good stuff, not straight from Dave's grill." So
So what
that's
else are
happening.
you craving? You doing Capri like,
You
you
know
bought
what's so
Capri
weird?
Suns.
So much coconut. Very
Okay.
specific coconut. Yeah,
In,
like
like, what form? Like,
in any
shredded coconut
form.
on your
Like I
yogurt
a
or
coconut
coconut yogurt?
granola, a coconut dried coconut like snack bar, just various forms of coconut. It's very, very interesting. Yeah. Cravings are
Okay.
bizarre to me. One of the pregnancy cravings I don't understand ever, our garden that my mother-in-law just did so wonderfully. She has not as much space at her house, so she comes over to ours and plants everything that she wishes she could plant at her house and then kind of gives us a little bit of a rundown of what we need to do to take care of it. So we had just an abundance of tomatoes, zucchini, cucumbers, the strawberries. We got a few, but they didn't really go crazy. So we've had just tons and tons of cucumbers and no idea what to do with them. So she started pickling them and she brought them over and they're delicious, but I can eat one because I know that pregnancy cravings are always this like stereotypical pickles and ice cream or something, pickles and something. They're so vinegary with all the acid reflux. It's like
Too much.
it's just right. You eat one, it's right up here. I'm like, I feel so bad. I want to support the cause, the jarring and the pickling. I can't. I'm like, I get one and that's it.
Mm,
That's it.
no.
So I feel bad. But yeah, I haven't been craving pickles, but they are available in abundance in my home.
Well, I'm gonna be getting a big fat Bloody Mary, like, garden sink, like or, like, well, they call the
Everything on
hot
it.
dogs in Chicago dragged through the garden, but here it'll be, like, garden sink pickle, I'll get a little onion, I get a Johnsonville brat beef stick, I might get a
Yeah,
Sargento cheese stick.
all of the above.
The best Bloody Marys, and then I pair it with a little Pony New Glarus beer. You like those
Perfect.
little pairs.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. Is that and so are yours? Do you like it spicy, like horseradishy?
No,
Okay.
I don't like how I don't mind it spicy, but I cannot stand the texture of the stringy
You don't
horseradish when it
want
comes
a
through my
pulpy
straw.
Bloody
Mm-mm.
Mary.
Nope, nope. I sometimes like Craig will make them with clamato, which is a nice little clam juice,
Yeah.
which sounds disgusting, but
No,
actually
no,
adds a
no.
little
Yeah. It's pretty
je ne
standard.
sais quoi.
I love that.
Mhm, mhm.
So Craig
So
is
we're just gonna
not
really
with
Wisconsin it
you
up.
in Wisconsin right now
Nope. He chooses his moments with the fam.
with the full crew. I get that.
It's a
You've
lot.
mentioned this. You said that he's much better at
I
setting his boundaries than you are.
well, well, I mean, in reality, he had work stuff to do, but he comes in for Christmas, and then he'll come in once in a while, and sometimes it's a thing with my family because I have this big, crazy, in your face Chicago Catholic cohort family, and it's just nutso. And every time you come, it's wonderful. It's just chaotic, and I'm always had like naive optimism of thinking, oh well, this year will be different, and nope, same thing. So I have my coping mechanisms. I dissociate with certain things. I compartmentalize.
Yeah.
I know what to do to
Yeah.
just have my own space. But in all honesty, it's actually, I love Elkhart Lake. I love coming up here. Genuinely come up here every Labor Day, if not more. We've been doing this for, I don't know, 40 years,
It's your happy
maybe.
place.
Happy place. So
Do you think that you guys would ever have your own place in Elkhart?
I think that the place I'm in right now will be maybe mine someday, is what I hear. So that's nice. So
It's a fun little perk.
yeah, yeah. But I think me out of anyone in my family, my extended family, I have the most like heart and soul for Elkhart through the years. I'm like the one who's just always consistently coming up here. I love it. Bring Max up here. It's just been a part of like my life,
Yeah.
my entire life. And yeah, so I hope that we'll always have some sort of presence. But again, this place holds a lot more significance to me than like Craig. He comes up here, is like, yeah, it's nice, but like, it doesn't, and like I get
It
that
doesn't bring
because he
him
didn't grow up
peace
with
the
that.
way it does for you.
No, I don't, no, no, no peace, no peace, but no peace.
Hopefully he has some
But it
peace
is
at home
like,
by himself right now.
yes, with he's going to see Oasis at MetLife on Monday.
So cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I know. Last minute, I came up his friends in town, so I feel like that's gonna be amazing because it's Oasis.
Like,
But you
again,
would like
but
Elkhart.
also,
Like this is your jam.
how is Oasis still, like, is it the same people? They've been around forever too. Who
Yeah,
are,
it's a huge. It's a huge, huge thing. 'Cause the brothers were like, fighting for 20 plus years. They broke up fighting, the Gallagher brothers, right? And then they finally like made peace after 20, 30 plus years. I don't at me on the math there. And now
it's got to be
they're back
20
and doing a whole
because
world tour.
20, 30, I don't know. Who knows? I'm trying
But
to think of
it's
like
just
our
like
lifetime. Yeah. Good for them.
huge for anyone who's into like, 90s new wave and maybe not new wave, but it's just another kind of iconic British
I just remember
rock band.
Wonderwall being on our like senior cross country mixtapes that we were all making for each other.
Oh yeah.
Such a
Oh
good
yeah.
song.
I
Okay,
feel
well,
like
when that officially becomes your second residence, I can't wait to visit Elkhart and
yes, this is
christen the
your like
space.
you would come here and be like, yep, like
Yeah,
vibes. I
love
know
it.
I just know you. I know you what it's so very high low. Like there's a huge, racetrack here, but it's like high end Road America. There's a huge Porsche race they do. It's very nice. There's like a big Porsche Club of America. I'm here from Chicago, and
Can't wait. Can't wait.
so
And I need one of those bloodies. That
cool.
sounds delicious. Now I have one
I
question for
know.
people who
Yes.
can't see you right now.
Mhm.
I have
Mhm.
noticed that you are wearing a cross
I knew
necklace.
it.
Is that
I
is that like, are you warding off the evil spirits while you're at home with
well, it's my
family?
newfound evangelical. No, no,
Do we need to get
no.
back
It's
into
my
the
mom.
religious
No,
conversation?
yeah, I don't know. My mom gave me a pearl necklace, and it
Okay.
has a little gold cross. And I think it was supposed
It's
to be a
beautiful.
Christmas. It was supposed to be a birthday gift from my
Birthday.
Aunt Chris. That's why we're up at Elkhart Lake every Labor Day weekend. Her birthday's on September 11th. We come up Labor Day weekend to celebrate my Aunt Chris's birthday.
Beautiful.
That's whose place we're in right now. And I'm wearing a pearl necklace with a gold cross, which is
Mm-hmm.
not very on brand for me.
Mm-mm.
But I come up here and like, you put on like your lake clothes. I don't know. I'm wearing like a Wisconsin hat that says Wisco. I have on
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
oversized, K-Swiss tennis sweatshirt from, I don't know, the 80s. And
Yeah.
then
And your cross.
yeah, and my cross. So I just
Great.
want to embrace lake
You're one
life
of the
outside of
tribe.
Milwaukee.
I love it. I mean, it is
Godspeed.
it's the first thing I noticed. It's not your swoosh. Is your swoosh under there somewhere? Or did the
There's
swoosh
no
stay
swoosh
home?
under me.
Okay.
Nah,
Okay.
swoosh at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're just gonna
It's
go
accurate
on with it.
vibes. Great.
Yeah.
I love it. You
All
know what?
right.
The other thing, I think I had one more thing. Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say. I told you I found a good smut author that I like. So that was really good. I don't know what my problem is. Got a different book, picked it up, same thing, like a 17-year-old girl. And I was like, is this what all smut is? Like, I need to find someone. And that's where my brain went, because when you asked at the very beginning of this about cousins, this book is about a girl who her parents die and she's sent off to live with her step uncle and his two sons. So they're not blood related, but then they all end up having sex with her and they try to make it okay. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So that's where my brain went with cousins, because I just finished the book today, because they don't end up having sex until halfway through the book. But I was like, I'm already halfway through. I can't just like put it down. I'm not capable of that. Like, I have to finish this book. If it was the first chapter, I'd be like, oh yeah, I can walk away from that. But I'm halfway through this book, so I had to finish it. I need to figure out, maybe I can't do smut. Maybe I'm not meant to do smut. Maybe I just need like regular fiction. I don't know what it is.
Like, what's the issue? Is it like you're just so fantastical you can't imagine, like...
I just wasn't on board with the 18-year-old girl. They all waited until she turned 18. So at least we're not in the statutory rape scenarios anymore. But the scenario of a girl and her two male step cousins having sex, a threesome all together. Like, it was just, and then
I think it's
after
just
she
like,
had
you
sex with the
gotta pick
dad
your smut.
already. Like, what? Is this all smut,
I
or
think
just the smut that I happen to pick off the shelf at the
No, I
library?
think you gotta find your flavor.
I gotta find my
your
smut.
flavor. Like, a lot of people love fairy smut.
That's
The
what I
court of
haven't
thorn
gone,
and
like, the
roses. That's
fantastical. Maybe that's what I need to do, like the
Yeah.
fantasy world smut.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just gotta find what works for you. The fairy thing, I don't get. I listened to, and we were talking about that earlier. The Court of Thorn and Roses. I'm probably
that
messing
one's
that up.
everywhere.
Sarah Moss, or right.
Yeah.
And I listened to the like narrated audio version of it, and it's like very theatrical. It's actually quite entertaining, but I'm like, I don't know, like a human having, sex with like a fairy. I'm like, it's not really my thing, but I
I
can
feel like
see
I
why
could get
people
more
get
into
into it.
that than a human being double stuffed by her step cousins.
Yeah.
Like
But
that's
they're
just
not
they're
blood
losing me.
cousins.
They're not.
Yeah.
But she still called him Uncle Jake while he was taking her virginity. So
Ew.
right? Like I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? Like you made a
That's like
point
not.
to say that they're not blood related, but you're also making a point to have her still.
This is for teens? This audience is for, this is
I
just
don't think
teen
so.
smut, but for adults.
I think it's adult smut, but it's always teenagers. I don't know why it's always like it
So
was at my library. I thought it was safe.
what's the definition of smut? Like sex books? Like
I think
sexually
anything that uses the word engorged should be considered smut.
That also reminds me of what's her name? Allison Janney, remember
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
yeah.
10 Things I Hate About You, right? And
So
she's like
good.
typing. Engorged.
Mhm.
How can I help you, sir? Yep. Hi.
Engorged. It's a very specific word that is used frequently in this category of novella. So, yeah, maybe I need to go fantastical. We'll see. But hit and sweet.
Do Sarah, do a Court of Thorn and Roses.
Okay.
Do the first one. See what you think.
Okay.
Yeah. Do what you think.
Something. I just need to mind out. I need something.
All right.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I feel a piece of dried coconut sneaking down my throat, so I'm about to choke.
Okay.
So I think this is
well,
as
I
good a
can't let
time as
that
any.
happen. Perfect. I'm so glad we did this.
As am I. Thank you for making time at your lake. It's always a
I love it.
pleasure. Enjoy the rest
Okay.
of your day and your weekend there.
Cheers.
Bye. Next week.